Now you may have individual success stories, absolutely, but the larger force will not just sit back and take no action, because they are being spurred by a knowing. They are being spurred by a timed and well-designed mechanism with fail-safes well beyond what those who think they control the world are able to work around. There's a new movie that our vehicle watched in the last few days called Thrive. There's also David Wilcock's book, The Source Field Investigations. These are the beginnings of a movement towards a consciousness raising that hopefully we have something to do with as well, whether it is through this work that we are doing here or others. Because once people begin to realize that they are the elephant being held to the stick by a little rope, watch out, Illuminatis. You're going to be squashed like a mouse in a mousetrap. You think you are pushing down little girls with pepper spray. You think you are breaking up a movement with your jackbooted thugs, knocking down tents. Are they really going against a evolutionary movement? Are they really going to be able to stand against the tide of this 13th wave? We would suggest you look at the faces of the police. They do a great job to try and hide their faces behind masks and helmets and such. But look at the eyes if you get a chance. You will see very, very, very conflicted people. You see, those in charge have hired mercenaries, we call them police or others, but they've hired them to control you. But they are not loyal to that grouping, because that grouping is not their grouping. They are being asked to police their equals, their neighbors. And this kind of thing will be more and more and more difficult. And so, as we see it, you will begin to see a breakdown of the force that the Illuminatis can wield. It will be very interesting to see the first war they declare that no one comes to. The first time they are told to do something warlike, and the warriors say no. No. Now they've done a good job in indoctrinating you. They have done a good job in creating fear within you, to obey and to conform. But there is this other urge that is really coming through, and particularly the young people are feeling it. The young people are seeing their future being tossed into the garbage heap, and they're not very happy about that. And so, as we see it, there's a great rising up happening on a global scale. Look at the Occupy movement. Look at where it has come in the few short weeks that it has been going on. How could it rise so quickly? How could it acquire so much political power in such a short amount of time? Because the strength in numbers, the strength in numbers. Look at this new technique of mic check, where the people become the amplifier of a person. It's an interesting technique to overpower the machine with the capabilities of individuals. And so you will see a great push to squelch the internet, and they may even succeed. But the technologies and the ingenuity of those in charge, of those who are using these technologies to assist the planet in its evolution, will like water find its way around all barriers. They don't have enough to hold you back. And so we are pleased to see this, because it is where we have said for a long time you were going, or it was a destiny that you were going to meet. Now that you are here and beginning to see how it unfolds, ideally many of you are starting to say, hey, this really might just work. There really might just be a conscious raised populace that overthrows the parasitic few, particularly the non-physicals who are inhabiting the families. Many people are saying, well, how is it that these families, the Roths and the Rothschilds and the whatevers, how is it that they are so powerful? Because they are harboring a non-physical creatures who live millennia. They are the hosts of a demonic entities. So is it that you are seeing new events that seem to sound similar to ones you've had in the past? Or is it the same individuals doing the same thing? If you could see into the non-physical world, you would see these presences around these individuals. Around these very powerful. How is it that Henry Kissinger hasn't died yet? How old is this man? Understand? Has anyone questioned the fact that he was old back in the 70s? It's interesting to us. It's interesting to us because you, all of you, have been hearing about this for a long time and beginning to lose faith, beginning to lose heart in that anything will change. But we say to you, watch how quickly it can change. Watch how quickly it can change. There is going to be a return to the land. There is going to be a return to community, a breaking away from this idea of global dominations, cutting up the planet into little economic quarters, continental economic zones. There will be a great push against that. Because really all that is a few on top wanting control of the resources so that they can exploit the planet. And people are really beginning to get it. They are beginning to push back on the GMO foods. They are beginning to push back on the idea that their health is in the hands of people who want to sell them pills and don't care about the side effects. They are rising up to the idea that banks have been hoodwinking and stealing from them for a long, long time. They are rising up in their consciousness. And that is what the Mayans knew. And that is what the Hopi knew. And that is what many of these cultures knew. because they understood. Many of them used hallucinogenic drugs in their cultures to have shamans go and look beyond physical reality. And what they have come back with is the knowledge that has now found its way into your legendary cultures. So hold on, keep your wits about you, stay upbeat, and stay informed. And we don't mean informed by Fox News. We find it very funny that it has even come out that those who watch Fox News are dumber than those who watch nothing. How can something like that not be on the front cover of every newspaper? Now, of course, the question is, are dumb people drawn to Fox, or does Fox make dumb people? We would say both. Fox reinforces the dumbness in some people who are already pretty stupid. But even the dumbest among you, even the biggest duh in the room, is having his consciousness raised as well. That is the beauty of a rising tide. It lifts all boats. And so with that we will depart. Good day to all of you, and we will chat again.